CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Miriam Valdez-Carletti.
Good evening. A 50-50 mix of water and gas was found in samples taken from several vehicles that left drivers stranded after filling up at a gas station in South Edmonton. CTV's Amanda Anderson has more on the next steps for those affected.
These are 4 separate samples of fuel pulled out of customers' vehicles.
Samples taken from the gas tanks of vehicles that broke down soon after filling up at the same gas station. It's left staff at Cross Mitsubishi busier than usual. 7 vehicles, all with the same issue.
Definitely not a coincidence. This is the same exact mixture of fuel for all these customers. All have had a mixture of a water content to fuel, and it's about a 50-50 mix.
Colton Williams says 2 more vehicles are being towed here for repairs.
Don't drive the car. The more you drive the car, the more that fuel is going to go through the system and potentially damage other components.
Dozens of drivers have reported the same issue after filling up at this Esso on Ellerslie Road. On Wednesday, Circle K said extra checks were being done on the integrity of the fuel system after customer complaints. It also said no fuel supply issues had been identified. Today, the company did not respond to our questions or provide an update. People who think they bought contaminated gas may be covered by insurance if they added comprehensive or all perils to their policy.
Keep any proof that you have, so receipts of repairs that you made, your gas receipt, all of that, and your insurance company adjuster can let you know the next step from there.
She also says to let them know others are in the same situation.
Send your insurance company these kinds of news reports. Then these insurance companies then may get together and subrogate, that's what they call when they go after the gas bars. Insurance company.
The problem has also gotten the attention of the Service Alberta and Red Tape Reduction Minister.
And we've been encouraging them to reach out to the Consumer Protection Unit because that's the first avenue that they have to go.
An official complaint to Consumer Protection hasn't been made yet. Once there is, the department will decide if an investigation is required. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
After weeks of accusations of playing politics with Alberta's electoral map, the UCP plans to create a government-led committee to start a review of recent recommendations. The opposition says the provincial government is attempting to rig future elections in its favor while ignoring the opinions of Albertans. CTV's Connor Hogg reports.
What we're trying to do is preserve the representation in rural Alberta, just as the judge recommended, and we asked members opposite to vote with us.
This disrespects rural and urban voters. Why are they doing this?
The provincial government is making a motion to establish a review board in the ongoing redrawing of Alberta's election riding boundaries. It also wants to create 2 new ridings. An independent review panel delivered a report last month presenting potential new riding maps. 2 UCP-appointed members of that panel broke rank and authored a minority report. Opposition leader Naheed Nenshi says those changes to Alberta's electoral map amount to cheating and gerrymandering.
They dissolved Red Deer into the ridings around it. They got rid of Lethbridge entirely and moved it to the U.S. border. Calgary is unrecognizable.
You don't want to have, let's say, a city carved up like a pie where there are more rural votes in a constituency than there are urban votes.
The motion would create a new panel to start from scratch with the goal of increasing Alberta's riding count.
They will have access to all of the information that the Electoral Boundary Commission has been able to collect, and we look forward to working with that advisory panel and going over all that information.
Political scientist Laurie Williams says if the new panel does not collect its own public feedback, that could lead to legal challenges against the new results.
If they don't fit the constitutional requirements, then the court could basically strike down or erase the changes that have been introduced.
Former lawyers say the government's actions undermine confidence in the electoral process.
Ethically, it's highly problematic. It is eroding the democratic rights of Albertans to have input.
If the motion passes, a new review committee will have until the fall to deliver a report and updated electoral map. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
RCMP are looking for a man they say exposed himself multiple times at a Sherwood Park pet store. RCMP say last Friday night, the man entered the store off Baseline Road and Broadmoor Boulevard. They say he exposed his genitals twice to a female employee. RCMP say this is the second time the man has done this at this business. They say back in February, he exposed and touched his genitals in front of a store employee. He's described as a white man in his early 30s with an average build and light brown or dark blonde hair and beard. Developers say it's time for a reset on the conversation around infill housing. Industry group Build Edmonton Metro has put together an action plan it believes can address community concerns as the pace of infill projects continues to rise. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
Our neighborhoods are not adapting, they are suffering.
It's no secret how some Edmontonians feel about the wave of infill homes being built in mature neighborhoods.
Some of these plexes are, let's face it, but ugly.
City Council is attempting to address public concerns by tweaking the rules for infill. Now the development industry says it's time to reset the conversation.
These are people's homes. This is where people live. We have to be sure as an industry that we're out there doing a great job and making sure that we're proud of the products we're building and that the neighborhood is enhanced as a result of us being there.
Build Edmonton Metro unveiled a 22-point infill action plan at a luncheon for developers. The industry group believes its plan can cool community concerns while accelerating infill projects.
Everybody that's involved in this plan wants predictability. We need consistency. Then neighbors know what to expect, builders know what they're going to do, and that's just like the source of a lot of the solutions here.
The plan outlines short-term actions like setting up a construction accountability program for better communication between the city, developers, and neighbors. Build says an improved permitting process within a year will help builders keep up with demand, and longer term, a better inspection process could ensure higher quality housing. Councillor Reid Clark wants to see consistent enforcement, and that means more money for bylaw officers.
What's the point of having policies and bylaws if we don't have the people and the means to enforce them?
Infill is still a hot topic at City Hall. Later this month, Council will vote on proposed changes to infill rules, including a maximum height reduction. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Imperial Oil is apologizing for a pipeline spill in northern Alberta last week. Roughly 843,000 liters of crude bitumen and salt water leaked from a pipeline located about 32 kilometers northwest of Cold Lake. The company says cleanup and remediation work is nearly complete. Imperial Oil and the Alberta Energy Regulator are investigating the cause. Neither group is reporting any impacts to water or wildlife. And as the province grows its iGambling and sports betting platform, local addictions experts worry more people may struggle with gambling problems, especially with the NHL playoffs about to begin. CTV's Evan Kenny has more.
Your starting lineup brought to you by our friends at Bet99.
Within the first minute of watching an Oilers game, you'll likely see one of these ads.
At edmontonoilers.com/5050.
From 50/50 to online sports books, a Norquest College instructor says these ads run up to 60 times each game.
It's constant throughout the game, so if someone was particularly vulnerable, then they might be more inclined to then place an impulsive bet.
Alana Brown is a mental health and addictions instructor at Norquest. She says 1 in 5 Canadians have reported placing a sports bet in the past year.
There are certainly risks associated with problem gambling, including higher chance of developing depressive disorder, anxiety disorder, substance use issues, as well as elevated suicide risk.
And because of the Oilers' diehard fan base, she's concerned the intensity of the playoffs could push some people too far.
You also want to be aware of your own emotional state of mind. It's a high-intensity, emotionally charged game.
Soon, Albertans will have more platforms to gamble on. The online sportsbook and casino, DraftKings, is coming to Alberta in July.
What we're doing is we're trying to create a regulated, legal format for those that want to participate in online gambling that is a little bit safer than the black market today.
The minister says people are betting online anyway, and the province wants to make sure they're doing it in a responsible way. That's why it has introduced the iGambling Act to regulate the market.
If there was a red button that I could push that would stop online gambling, I would push that button. But it doesn't exist.
MGM's got all the sports betting in one place.
For people placing bets, Canada's gambling guidelines suggest only doing so once a week and to avoid using multiple formats at once and set a price limit.
Drain that 3!
Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
Despite the snow on the ground today, the city will be collecting spring yard waste this coming Monday. You're asked to put your waste in see-through plastic or paper bags. There's no cap on the number of bags you put out. The city set the collection date in advance, but if you miss this one, there will be a second pickup sometime between May and June. And another spring storm left Edmonton covered in snow. Our area saw between 2 to 5 centimeters of snow over the past 24 hours. Drivers had to contend with slushy and icy roads during their commutes. RCMP warned drivers about poor conditions on some highways. And meanwhile, in Calgary, drivers were hit with an even heavier blanket of snow. Calgary police say since midnight, there were 150 crashes. 30 involved drivers hitting other vehicles and taking off. Roads weren't any better outside city limits, with many cars ending up in ditches. The weather also caused a few delays at the Calgary airport. And the Canadian Real Estate Association has downgraded its housing market forecast due to the spike in oil prices. The association is now expecting an increase in sales this year of 1%. That's down from its January forecast of more than 5%. The national average home price is forecasted to rise by 1.5%. The association says the spike in oil prices has led to higher inflation, meaning the Bank of Canada is more likely to hike interest rates. And a ruling by a U.S. jury has found that Live Nation and its subsidiary Ticketmaster operated an illegal and anti-competitive monopoly and overcharged customers. CTV's Andrew Johnson has more on the verdict.
Anyone who has ever felt ripped off by Ticketmaster will likely cheer this ruling. But in order to find out what will change, we need to wait for the encore.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
The Taylor Swift Eras Tour ticket fiasco partially fueled the lawsuit, and the decision by the New York jury could be a devastating blow to massive concert promoter Live Nation.
This is a good day for concert goers. And it was a very, very bad day for Live Nation Ticketmaster.
The company could now be forced to split from Ticketmaster and pay hundreds of millions in fines. The jury also found Ticketmaster overcharged people by close to $2 per ticket. That money plus damages could be coming back to customers. And
it could lead to lower prices. What it almost certainly will lead to is more competition, more opportunities for acts to go to different venues and not end up where Ticketmaster takes a big percentage of the money that's coming out of fans' pockets.
That lawyer told me this U.S.-based ruling does apply to Canadians. If the judge awards damages to concertgoers, someone who bought a ticket to a Canadian show from Ticketmaster will be eligible. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Edmonton high school students are getting their hands dirty and learning what it takes to be a firefighter. The program is giving students more than just career opportunities. These fire cadets are being put to the test on the sharp skills needed to save the day.
A little scared. I'm a little nervous because it is only our second time, but it's also like, oh, we got to get this under control. We got to get this stopped. We can't let it keep going. Like, I want to get this under control.
That's the mindset coordinator Chris Turner wants to see from these 20 high school students training with Edmonton Fire Rescue Services.
It gives them that challenge of knowing they can adapt under pressure. It's not something that anyone would have a chance to unless you're in the class.
Students can earn up to 6 high school credits during the 10-month program. They're taught about leadership, teamwork, and what it takes to be a firefighter.
We do almost everything that the recruits do. We just don't do it at the same, for the same volume and the same level.
Even at a lower level, it's a lot harder than it looks.
The claustrophobia stuff we did upstairs, really tricky. I never thought I'd be claustrophobic, but I was able to work on my breathing, get through it. Really difficult, just getting able to do things that I'd never been able to do before.
You get to experience live fire and what career firefighters go through in a safe setting.
This student has seen firsthand the positive impact firefighters can have.
My grandma's house almost burned down, and that was it was really amazing. The firefighters were able to protect the house and protect the area, and I thought that was amazing, and I want to do something like that for other people.
Extinguishing a hot situation as a team has been rewarding.
I'd love to be a firefighter one day. It's a great career, lots of opportunities to help people, lots of camaraderie.
Edmonton Fire Rescue Services says half these cadets will pursue careers like wildland firefighting, healthcare, or in the military. One teen wants to take these skills into space.
I want to be an astronaut and I work for CSA, so being a part of this program really helps me get into university to be able to go into that.
Gearing up for their future careers and to help others. Coming up next, details on Canada Post ending door-to-door delivery in some areas. And also just ahead, how your personal data could be used when buying flights online.
It's a ripoff, and it's downright creepy.
Good evening, folks. As expected, it was another cool day today at -1 for a daytime high here in the city. But this is pretty much the end of it. It will be frosty to start tomorrow, but 7 or 8 degrees above zero by tomorrow afternoon and double digits through the weekend. All those details in just a few minutes.
Alberta travelers are weighing in on whether personal data could be affecting what they pay for flights online, amongst other products. And it comes after a federal push this week to ban so-called surveillance pricing failed in Parliament. Mark Villani has more on the issue and what to be aware of.
Travelers are always searching for a deal on flights, but is all that searching actually costing you more?
Without a doubt, in my mind, they are targeting that all the time.
It's called algorithmic pricing, the use of personal data like browsing habits, location, or past purchases, not just demand, to help set prices. Experts say it means two people in two different cities purchasing the same airline ticket could be paying two different prices. Keith Marsh is traveling from Calgary with his family. He says it's not just flights.
You're starting to see it in other industries now too, so they're replicating a lot of what they're doing. Make sure you're clearing your browsers, clearing your cookies. If you can afford it, get a VPN.
Air Canada told us algorithmic pricing was, quote, an urban legend. And WestJet also denies any use of personal information to determine flight costs. But passenger rights advocates say you should still watch for sudden changes.
Personally, I would always take screenshots. Then I can tell the airline, look, you have been advertising for this price. I've been accepting your offer to buy this flight for a given price.
Meanwhile, others still feel like it's unavoidable.
It's just kind of a free-for-all in terms of pricing.
You should be able to search and not have to be charged extra.
And a new poll from Abacus Data finds that Canadian consumers are skeptical. Nearly half noticed automatic price changes for flights, hotels, or online shopping. 52% say the practice should be banned, and about a third say more regulation is needed.
Regardless of who you are, you should be able to get a service or product for the same price.
It's unfair, it's a ripoff, and it's downright creepy.
The federal NDP pushed to ban the practice this week. Its motion was defeated. Manitoba's government also introduced legislation prohibiting retailers from using personal data.
Give out as little as possible. Tell white lies. Don't give your real birthday. Don't even give your real age on a survey.
Back in Alberta, the province says it's monitoring the situation. We have not heard that this is a concern in Alberta. In many cases, this type of pricing mechanism is used as part of a loyalty or rewards program, so we are not considering changes at this time.
It's something that, let's say, the government should start looking into.
A Midwestern U.S. town took a beating from powerful hailstorm this week. Golf ball-sized hailstones rained down on the community, damaging vehicles and roofs. Flooding was also reported as about 6 centimeters of rain came down in a short time along with the hail. And Canada Post is planning to end door-to-door delivery for more than 130,000 homes by early next year. The Crown Corporation says it's in discussion with 13 communities across the country about phasing out home delivery. It's part of a plan to move 4 million addresses to community mailboxes over the next 5 years. No Alberta communities are part of this first step towards ending home delivery. Canada Post is also reviewing its retail network as it considers closing some post offices. And a local moving company is honoring mothers while helping families in need. 2 men and a truck kicked off its second annual Movers for Moms campaign. The company is collecting items for Hope Mission through May 5th. Items needed include cleaning supplies, hygiene products, diapers, and wipes. The company says it's part of its mandate to help out in the community.
This is our own way of giving back. We call it as part of our grandma rule, where we kind of do that. We treat everyone as if they're our own grandma. So it's our way of giving back to the community as well.
The goal is to collect 1,500 items ahead of Mother's Day. You can drop off donations at the Two Men and a Truck office or head to the company's website to find a drop-off location. And after months of planning and a 40-hour road trip, dozens of Alberta-raised bison calves have made it safely to their new home in Alaska. 44 wood bison from Elk Island National Park, east of Edmonton, arrived in Fairbanks late Tuesday. Parks Canada says the move will help maintain a healthy habitat within Elk Island and ensure the iconic species roam North America for generations to come. It's the fourth transfer from Elk Island to Alaska since 2008. Another is planned to take place in the next 2 years. After the break, Artemis 2 astronauts answer questions about their space journey.
We are bonded forever. I mean, that's the closest 4 humans can be and not be a family.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. 11 degrees is the average high for the middle of April. Our high today on par with the average low for this time of year. We'll be in this -7, -8 range again tomorrow morning, but a lot closer to average tomorrow afternoon. Mostly cloudy in the morning. We've got a chance of some scattered wet flurries through the overnight period here off to the west of the Edmonton region. There may be even a couple wet flurries or snowflakes flying around in the city. No significant snow, though, overnight tonight. In fact, there's no real significant snow in the forecast for the foreseeable future here in the Edmonton region. A little different story across the northeast, where you will see a little bit of flurry activity tomorrow, and then again into the weekend. Saturday morning, you might see some snow around Fort McMurray. Tomorrow afternoon, chance of a few scattered showers from Edmonton off to the northwest, so there may be a couple sprinkles around supper time tomorrow. No heavy rain expected, though. -10, Fort McMurray tomorrow morning. Same for Red Deer. Grand Prairie gets down to about -7. We'll be in that -7, -8 range here in the city. 4, there's a chance of flurries in Fort McMurray. 6 for Cold Lake and Lac La Biche. Closer to 10, though, in Grand Prairie and Edson. 7 in Red Deer, and highs of about 3 degrees in Lloydminster and Coronation. Watch this warm up over the next couple of days. Tomorrow, a little bit better than today. There's all of a sudden some double-digit temperatures popping up on the map in the yellows. Mid-teens to maybe even upper teens on Sunday, and close to 20 for daytime highs in Edmonton. Southern Alberta into the mid to upper 20s early next week. 7 degrees tomorrow, but 12, 16 through the weekend, and highs near 20 with some sunshine Monday and Tuesday. How long does it last? Well, Wednesday's still close to 20, but then there's a chance of some rain Wednesday night into Thursday. We'll drop back into the 10-degree range, it looks like, for Thursday, Friday. Right back into the mid-teens, though, Saturday, Sunday. So it was a cool start to April, but it looks like the back half of April should be no worse than average. And in fact, most days above average. That is your forecast.
A week after splashing back down to Earth, the Artemis 2 crew are answering questions about the mission, life in the capsule, and what's next. CTV's Heather Wright reports.
They traveled more than 400,000 kilometers to the far side of the moon and back. Commander Reed Wiseman says the crew launched as friends and returned as best friends.
We are bonded forever. I mean, that's the closest 4 humans can be and not be a family.
For 10 days, the Artemis 2 crew captured the hearts and imagination of the world, going further and faster into space than any human has gone, and seeing the moon and the world from brand new perspectives.
We're all kind of struck by these things that make us feel small, and that the sense I had was the sense of fragility and feeling small, infinitesimally small, but yet this very powerful feeling as a human being, like as a group.
Speaking to reporters from the Johnson Space Center this afternoon, the crew says while they had an idea of the attention their mission was getting, they initially didn't know the extent of it until talking to their families back on Earth.
When my husband looked me in the eye on that video call and said, "No, really, you've made a difference," it brought tears to my eyes, and I said, that's all we ever wanted.
Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen hopes this mission inspires the next generation of astronauts to dream big and says it underscores the importance of working together.
Don't do it alone, and share what you're trying to accomplish with others, because you need the support of others to do big things. And so share your goals, be brave enough to share them, and then you'll be surprised how people surround you and lift you up to accomplish them.
Asked how optimistic they are that humans could soon have a permanent presence on the moon, Commander Wiseman said not only is it doable, but doable soon. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
And that's our show for this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good night.